Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here, because today we are unpacking one of the most fascinating and, honestly, sometimes dangerous phenomena in modern tech. We're talking about AI hallucinations. You've probably seen the headlines, or maybe you've even experienced it yourself, when a seemingly brilliant piece of tech suddenly acts, well, not so smart. Today, we're going to demystify exactly what is happening behind the screen. We'll explore this mirage of artificial intelligence, figure out why it actually happens, and talk about what it means for our future.
So, have you ever caught an AI in a bald-faced lie? I mean, really think about it. You ask a chatbot for a recipe or maybe a historical fact, and it spits back an answer that sounds so incredibly convincing, highly authoritative, and yet it's just completely, utterly wrong. Like those lawyers who submitted briefs filled with entirely fake court cases generated by ChatGPT. It's a totally surreal experience, right? It almost feels like the machine is actively trying to deceive you. Okay, let's dive into this. Because to understand why this happens, we literally have to rewire how we think about what these machines are actually doing.
Section 1. The AI Mirage.
Now, I want you to think of AI not as some super genius locked in a room with a giant encyclopedia, but actually more like a brilliant illusionist. When we interact with these systems, the output feels so human, so intelligent, that our brains just instantly assume, wow, there is genuine comprehension happening here. But the reality? We are very often looking at a highly sophisticated mirage, which brings us to our core definition. AI hallucinations occur when artificial intelligence generates incorrect, misleading, or completely fabricated information that does not match reality but still appears totally believable. Think of the AI as a sculptor, right? And information is its malleable clay. Most of the time, it sculpts this perfect replica of reality. But sometimes it takes that clay and just molds it into something completely fabricated. It smooths out the edges, paints it up to look totally real, and then presents it to you with absolute 100% confidence. It's a completely made-up creation, cleverly disguised as a hard fact.
Section 2. Predicting patterns, not facts.
So, to understand how that clay gets molded into a hallucination in the first place, we really need to stop seeing AI as this all-knowing oracle. We have to realize that it's actually just predicting patterns. You see, when you or I state a fact, it's grounded in our actual understanding of the real world and the context around it. But AI? It doesn't actually know facts. It doesn't understand context or history or real-world events. Instead, it is simply looking at massive amounts of data and predicting, mathematically, what word or pixel should logically come next based on historical patterns. And when that pattern leads it down the wrong mathematical path, well, the result is a hallucination.
As the research points out, chatbots provide inaccurate facts or fictional events that sound convincing but are not true. And this brilliantly illustrates why these systems are so incredibly deceiving. You see, the AI doesn't possess a doubt function. There's no internal voice saying, maybe I should double-check that. Think of it kind of like an overly eager intern who absolutely refuses to just say, I don't know. Because it's just generating the next most statistically likely word based on patterns. It will present a completely fictional event with the exact same authoritative tone it uses to tell you the sky is blue. That illusion of confidence is exactly what makes the hallucination so effective.
Section 3. The root causes.
So what actually corrupts the math here? Why does our eager improviser go off script? Well, it often starts with poor training data. It's the classic rule: garbage in, garbage out. If the AI learns from a flawed or biased dataset, its predictions are going to inherit those exact same blind spots. Then you add in things like overfitting, which is basically when a model memorizes its training so rigidly that it completely panics and can't handle new questions. Plus algorithmic quirks and a really limited contextual understanding. You put all that together, and you've got a perfect recipe for confidently delivered nonsense. Ultimately, everything traces back to how the raw data dictates the final output.
Section 4. The danger of illusions.
Now, it's pretty easy to just laugh it off when an AI writes a bizarre poem, or remember when Google's Bard confidently made a factual error about the James Webb Space Telescope in its very first demo? Kind of funny, right? But as we start applying these systems to the physical world, the stakes escalate dramatically. Image recognition hallucinations can actually cause an AI to detect objects that literally do not exist. If an autonomous vehicle hallucinates and sees a clear road instead of a parked truck, well, a digital error instantly becomes a deadly physical hazard in the real world.
And this risk just multiplies when we look at high-stakes sectors. We're talking healthcare, finance, and security. In these fields, hallucination isn't just some quirky software bug. An AI fabricating a medical diagnosis, or inventing fake financial trends, or misidentifying a security threat, That leads directly to incorrect decisions and massive real-world harm. In these critical areas, total accuracy isn't just a nice-to-have. It is absolutely essential for human safety.
Section 5. A creative silver lining.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that the exact same technical flaw that causes so much danger in a self-driving car can actually be a massive superpower in creative applications. Think about it. Unique artwork, inventive designs, building entirely new virtual worlds, or just sparking innovative ideas. When an AI breaks from reality in these spaces, it's essentially brainstorming. It warps the clay to create these happy accidents that can actually push human creativity forward. So, in the world of digital art and innovation, a hallucination isn't a bug at all. It's a feature that pushes human creativity into entirely new, unexplored directions.
Section 6. The verification imperative.
Okay, so we've seen the severe dangers, and we've seen the creative potential. The bottom line you really should take away from this explainer is that the power of AI and the limitations of AI are quite literally two sides of the exact same coin. The very same pattern-matching mechanics that give AI its world-changing power are also what establishes its most dangerous flaw, a complete lack of actual comprehension. Simply put, you cannot have the magic without the mirage.
Because of this, human verification and responsible use are more important right now than ever before. I really want to empower you with this thought. AI is an absolutely astonishing tool, but it is not and cannot be a replacement for human judgment or critical thinking. Whether you're generating code, seeking advice, or navigating a vehicle, you are the pilot. The AI, it's simply suggesting a route. It is entirely up to us to verify reality.
I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to mull over. As AI grows more powerful, will we control the mirage, or will it control us? This technology is only getting faster, more ubiquitous, and way more convincing. But by understanding how these hallucinations actually work, you are taking the very first step in ensuring that we remain the masters of the tools we create. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay curious out there, and always, always remember to check the facts behind the screen.